No, not only are we going along with the deal that was struck before, we're showing how we would replace the sequester from occurring by cutting spending elsewhere in a smart way instead of just accrued across the board way, which will happen in January if we do nothing. We have the problem is the president's not showing what he would do to prevent this across the board cut from happening. The Senate announced again yesterday they're not going to do a budget again for the third year in a row. Yeah. So we're showing leadership on how we will specifically prioritize spending in order to meet this deal, in order to conform to the Budget Control Act and do it in a smart way instead of this crude across the board way, or just ignoring it, which is what we think the White House is doing. They're not preparing for this sequester. They're pretending it doesn't exist. It does exist. It will happen. And we think we should be honest with people about that and show how we will prioritize spending cuts instead of letting this sequester cut across the board. That's exactly what our budget does, and that's what we're doing right now.
Instead of moderating their views even slightly, you now have Republicans in Washington, the ones running for president, proposing budgets that shower the wealthiest Americans with even more tax cuts. Folks like me don't need them. We're looking for them.
Your reaction?
I think the president doesn't have a record he can run on. He's gone hard to the left in this last 2 years. He didn't moderate, didn't compromise. And so he has no choice but to divide the country in order to distract the country. And unfortunately, it's very unpresidential, but that's what we're seeing. We're saying take away the tax shelters and loopholes that wealthy people use in order to lower everybody's tax rates. Guess what? A lot of Democrats agree with us. Erskine Bowles and the Fiscal Commission, this is what they propose to get the economy growing. So what we're showing in our budget is the seeds of a bipartisan compromise on how to best fix these problems. Problem is, it's with moderate Democrats, and the president's not a moderate Democrat. He's way out there on the left, playing partisan politics, trying to shift blame for his own failed policies. And I think that's just what more of this kind of campaign rhetoric we're going to have it's going to be a long 6 months, I'll just tell you that. 1 in 6 people, Martha, are in poverty today. Poverty is at the highest rates it's been in a generation under the president's failed policies. And so what we're trying to do here is get people from welfare to work, just like we succeeded in doing when we reformed cash welfare in 1996. We want to take those ideas and reform these other welfare programs so that we don't keep people on welfare, but we get people from welfare to work into an upward mobile society, opportunity, prosperity, getting people out of poverty. That's what we're focusing on our budget. Attack the root causes of poverty to break its cycle instead of simply treating its symptoms and making it easier to cope with. And that's what we fear the president's policies have done, and the results are we have the highest poverty rates we've had in a generation.